talking about that. Welcome to Earth 2 Comcast. While we are about to get ready to talk about, as you can tell on the screen, Andor, Disney's new Star Wars show. I'm not gonna be petty. I was really well. If you look at Rose's background, that's where I was going with this. Disney's new ACAP propaganda. Honestly,
It
it's
really was
super woke nonsense.
like I was just impressed about how hard they went with the Imperials slash
Oh my God.
corporate cops in this episode.
They corpo bullshit, corpo this, corpo. They made sure to tell you, and I the crazy part is you know what, we'll get to it, but let me get your thoughts because they gave us 3 episodes, 3 hours. How did you feel about that? Like when you finally were done with the show, how did you feel?
When I was finally done with the show, I really enjoyed it. I felt that the third episode was really strong and paid off the first 2 pretty boring episodes, particularly the first one. And I also didn't realize, like, when it ended, I was like, wait, that was an episode?
Right? Exactly.
I was like, same with the second one. It was like, wait, what?
They just ended. It wasn't like
a Netflix show.
Yes. Because we're gonna get the next one and the next one and the next one. But yeah, yes. So I agree with you on there. But no, that. So you really enjoyed the third episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, because I cut you off. I'm sorry. So I'm giving.
No. I mean, that's basically my sort of overall take about this episode. I guess it could also be until the third episode, almost all of the scenes featuring Andor were boring as shit. All right, and then all the like.
Can we curse on this? Yes, we can.
I mean, they said shit on Disney Plus. So
yes.
And then all of the cop stuff was just like so over the top, intense and like, again, as you said, ACAB propaganda. Like it was just like I was like, wow, this
very purposeful. Oh my God.
Yeah, that stuff came hard, and then the Andor stuff was like watching a boring Mad Men episode. Like it was just. Yes. Really slowly paced. It paid off though. It did.
It did. But
it was so slow.
Yeah, it was a snore fest until it off. So yeah, I agree with you. I didn't care for the first 2 episodes, and then so like it makes sense that Disney Plus was like, yeah, we're gonna give you 3 because if they go by their normal formula, which is 2, yeah, you would have.
Or God help you 1. Like. I don't know. Like, I don't think anybody would have kept watching.
Hard time convincing people to come back. Like, unless you gave the reviewers all 3 episodes, and then the reviewers are going super hard, and then it's like, why are you going so hard for this show? You know, so maybe I don't want to watch it because you're going too hard. I'll just wait till it's all done, and then I'll come back. But yes, everything Andor cast Andor didn't care for it. Didn't care for anything because it was. I mean. Yeah, let's get into it, right? So the first episode really like brings home the point that the corporals, like, they're just evil and they hire evil people. Like they really did that because you meet the 2 doofies, like goofy.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait. Let's be clear here. They're not real cops, as the prostitute lady said in the beginning. Okay,
right?
They're not cops.
Like
clearly, nope. They're not cops. They're not cops.
Okay, sure. Yeah, okay.
They look like cops, act like cops, wear blue, execute no-knock warrants, but they're not cops.
Yeah, so we meet them, and then we don't meet them anymore because they're unalived, as the kids say.
I mean, he shoots that guy in the face. Like that.
honestly, okay, first of all, I don't know. This is where I would have loved if Patrick saw it and he's here with us, right? Because I would want to ask Patrick if this is something he'll, you know, let Branch watch.
How old is Branch now?
12, 13, 12, 13.
13. I would let a freshman in high school watch this.
Okay. 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 But yeah, it goes really like it's like yes. First of all, it's like these guys are assholes. So would you feel bad if we clip them? But he shows no type of emotion, no remorse taking a life. And I'm like, okay, so this is the kind of show we're gonna watch. Like,
I mean,
this
it squares with the character in Rogue One. So
yeah, it does.
at the beginning.
Yeah, because that's when we meet him killing his
informant.
Yeah. It was almost like a mirror scene, right?
I mean, I was like, I felt the very beginning of the episode was really strong, and I felt
yes, it was,
and then it got really boring, and like I was like, the thing I was, I guess, most impressed with at the beginning of the first episode was that like they went there, like, and I don't know if we've talked about this in the show, but I think the best thing about Rogue One is it explores an aspect of Star Wars that doesn't really get a lot of play, which is that, you know, there's a rebellion and the Empire is evil. And like, there's an evil Empire. Like, yeah, we'll get to him. Like, and I appreciated this. Cause like, I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of the Star Wars fandom is in the tank for the Empire. Like, yes. and it continues to be insane to me that you would be like that you would ever walk around in a stormtrooper outfit, right? Like,
yes.
Like I don't understand this, and this show, like Rogue One, is just like no, that's bullshit.
Yeah, those guys are fuck. Like no, they're bad. They're bad guys, and
empires are bad. Like they even went so far as to like go back to the Republic is also bad. Like
correct.
These like globe spanning hegemonic empires, whether they call themselves a republic or literally an empire, are bad, right? Like I was blown away. Like that was also like it's boring. Those scenes were so boring, but they were very thematically powerful in the end.
Correct. I agree with you. The three episodes made it amazing because honestly, after episode 1, I'm like, yo,
if you wouldn't have kept watching.
I'm no way. We if we would, I'd be like, Roy, we could just wait to the end of this and then we'll just do one at the end. But no, I agree with you. They really bring home the point right off the bat that episode 1 is horrible, and there's no way we can like they've made like there's no like usually I would so maybe early Star Wars, like there's wiggle room as to why you can like a stormtrooper. There's like wiggle room, right? And especially if you watch Clone Wars, there's super wiggle room.
Yeah, Clone Wars. Yes.
So when you go because when you meet the Fives and like, oh my God, they're not in Bad Batch and all like when you meet those characters, you're like, dang. So maybe I can be a stormtrooper, right? Because this is how it starts. But this and Rogue One don't give you that. It's like, no, you're not gonna like the Empire here at any point, because even if we go back to Cass's flashback, because they do a lot of flashbacks on the show, right? They colonize his planet.
Well, they do worse. They crash a ship crash lands and they just like nuke it in orbit, which like I'm sure it's gonna be like a thing, like why the ship crashed. Do you know what I mean? Like
right.
Like they tell them that like they nuke it from orbit basically, and you can't go there. So I imagine there's going to be some sort of like twist, right? Because somehow also his sister's going to get off the planet, even though he got basically kidnapped by that lady.
Right, which is a thing as well. Like, I actually think they were the stronger parts of Cass's story for the first 2 episodes, because I mean, well, they were kind of boring until you got to Marva and you got to you got to them
the confrontation with that dude.
Yeah, but honestly, it was a lot of dead space on the show, but no, like they not wasn't his planet a mining planet? It was a bad mining accident, and
That's what they say,
that's
but
the
we
story,
don't
right?
see
Behind,
that,
yeah.
right? That's the story they say.
Mm-hmm.
But like his
So
planet is just like, you know,
does it
a
still
less
exist?
advanced planet in the Star Wars universe. You know, like what? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
The more you think about it, the more it doesn't
no,
work in the
yeah, they
context of
have
Star
no
Wars.
tech, nothing, but they were colonized and mined, and now you have nothing to give us, so we're gonna leave. Well, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
while we're watching, well, this perspective is you have nothing to give us, so we're gonna leave your planet barren, pretty much. There are no adults too, which is kind of did.
yeah, I mean, you know what? That's a good point. I felt that they were like young, like 20 something. But you are right. There could be that there was some kind of mining accident. Those people are the survivors of the mining accident, and that's why there's no adults. And
oh, that is horrible.
I mean, we don't know. I imagine we're gonna get more because
yeah,
like,
we're gonna they're definitely
the sister has to get off the planet, right?
Yes.
He has to at least think his sister gets off the planet.
Yes, that's why he's
that's what they were definitely going for, Drunk, I think. Like,
and that's exactly why he was looking for her, right? So she gets off, or he finds out. Maybe he goes back, you know. Maybe he goes back, something. But yeah, so episode 1 happens. I think episode 1 was there to give us our characters.
It was, yes. It just ended. I'm still blown away that it just like, kind of ended.
Because like, we meet more. We didn't even meet Marva in episode 1. We met her episode 2. But we meet Bix. We meet Tim, jealous boyfriend. We meet his friend. I forget his name. The one who's gonna give him the alibi later, or the one who asked to give him the alibi.
Brax is I think his name.
Yeah, we meet B. You know, so that's what episode 1 served for me, was just introduction of characters, and I was like, okay, that's it, and it ended because
it just like literally ended, like it didn't.
Outside of the cop thing, what was the other story that they? Because that's when the cop was like, okay, I know you said, you know, his CO is like, his commanding officer is like, don't.
Like these two guys, like it was classic. Like
they're dickheads. You know what's funny? He's like, they're dickheads. I don't really care about them. They probably messed with the wrong person, so let it be. But obviously, this overzealous, like put piping in his, like mess with the piping of his, like, you know, he's the cop that definitely up 5 o'clock in the morning. Starch presses his uniform. Like you can tell at midday his uniform is still super sharp. He's super healthy. He has the side strap on his thighs as opposed to his waist. This is super cop. This is the super cop. Like
he's a true believer, but that makes him actually more dangerous to people than the like corrupt cop who is his boss, which is also fucking hilarious. Like it's just
honestly,
just like
they really went there, and I love it. They really went there.
They really went there. Like,
and
it's just like wow.
And then he goes over his boss's head, not necessarily, but he goes over his head or whatever he said, and he decides.
Well, the guy's gone, right? So he doesn't.
Yeah, he's gone on this meeting, and then he decides to, okay, I'm going to keep going on this investigation. I'm going to go down this path. He does what he does, and he finds something. He finds the ship, right? He's like,
he finds the ship, yep. Yeah, not just on a whole other planet, but like with the whole invasion crew,
right?
And
listen, like a dropship, really? Like it's not even that deep. 1 or 2 officers, let's go find this guy, and we're out.
You could theoretically say it's deep, right? Like he makes this case. There's like 2 guys are dead, but like.
He definitely makes it deeper than it is. He does, because it's like they killed our. Like this is the thing where, you know, like if you kill a cop and then all of a sudden the entire police force is after you.
like that was the well, he's in the second episode. Like we can jump to the second episode,
right? Yeah, at this point we can,
which is absolutely wild. Like
yes,
the cop stuff is just absolutely wild and like almost painfully on point at certain points. Like when this walking Irish stereotype shows up, And Joker kept making him all in the chat was like patio imperial. Like it's just like this is like the stereotypical Irish cop. He gives this whole like speech, right? About like they killed one of our own. And it's just like, wow, this is like Training Day. Like, except they're actually the bad guys. It is. Yeah, it is.
You know what? I never thought about it that way, but
that is true.
Yeah.
I just like that scene was really just
amazing. Oh, that was
like
wild.
The sheer condescension that they have for the people they're supposed to serve and protect,
right?
It's just so amazing and so on point that you're like, wow, like how did Disney let them get away with this? Like, is it because the rest of it was so boring that the
you know what it is? You know what it is? Because Disney's really pushing back, you know, with the Don't Say Gay bill and all of the things. They're really pushing back against the establishment. So maybe this is another like avenue for them to do that with. Or they didn't know that
Kathleen Kennedy fell asleep.
Yes. And she heard, like, she's like, oh my God, this is so boring, falls asleep. And then now she's going to go watch the first 3 episodes. It's too late because it's loaded on the servers. Oh, hey. So yeah, like, no, he's definitely a walking Irish stereotype. He's definitely that. And okay, back on Fricks, what's it called? Phoenix?
Fricks is where he says he's from. I don't know. It was unclear what the name of this planet was.
And then the whatever planet, rainy ass planet he's on now, right? A muddy ass planet he's on now. So we're back there, right? And it's like, okay, cool. I don't remember anything okay, this is where he's gonna meet the buyer, right? We don't.
But the whole episode is like setting up that the buyer is coming.
Yes, the buyer's coming, so that's set up. And then Tim, you know, snitches, and you know he's. You know what else? Like this show also settled in misogyny because the fact that Tim felt so. Again, this is his girlfriend or someone.
His like parent, like I think. All right, so what I got from what. Minerva, right? Is that the name of his mom?
Marva.
By implication between all behavior, all the characters, is that woman is Cassian's friend, but ex.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's kind of yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, so her new paramour, fuck buddy,
right? Like
work friend, right? Freaks out. Because he thinks they're fucking
right
again, and decides because there's definitely nothing a girl loves more than getting snitching. Like, what do you think is gonna happen there? Like, whenever this happens,
all the time,
it's just like, what do you think is gonna happen? It's just gonna impress this girl that you got
her friend locked up. Hands, right? She's definitely going into. Into his hands. So yes, you deserve whatever you get. Honestly, I just knew he was going to do it. I'm like,
I knew he was going to do it too. I was like,
oh, the camera was amazing. They're like, oh, this guy's definitely, and he's drinking. Oh yes, alcohol and relationships on these on these shows don't go together.
I mean, look, we did learn a very important thing that I don't think we've ever actually seen. I truly don't think in any piece of Star Wars property, by implication, people fuck because Padme got pregnant. But there's actually a 1-to-1 relationship with 2 people fucked on this show. Like, because Trader Guy and what's the woman's name? Bricks? Dick? No.
Tim.
Dick? Oh, Tim. Right. So they had sex.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, this show really. All right, this is art Star Wars with all capital letter art.
Art, right? This is definitely that. But I'll say this, right? It definitely. The show definitely. I don't know if this show banks on your knowledge of Rogue One. I don't think it does. No. It does, yeah, it doesn't, because this is building up to the character of meeting Rogue One. And
I don't think you need to know anything about Rogue One. I don't even think you really need to know that much about Star Wars.
Yeah. That's one thing I can definitely say for sure. This is the one show. It's the one Star Wars show that you don't necessarily have to know everything. I think Mando maybe
Mando started that way, but quickly became no. You need to watch all of Clone Wars plus Rebels,
and you might need to watch episodes 2 and 3 because you need to know who Boba Fett is, we're gonna introduce.
It became just like what the traditional Star Wars storyline, how it's continuing.
Right. So we all of that happens, but I still, again, episode 2 happened, right? I don't really remember a lot of it. I just know it was a lot of setting up.
It was all set up. Like, again, it was like a Netflix show. Like,
yes.
It was just all set up. There was no
first 2
plot.
episodes were set up. Yeah, there was no plot. There's no plot. It was you definitely knew the cops were coming. You knew the buyer was coming, but you also knew the buyer was an important character because of just the air around saying his
also
name.
As soon as they showed you, it's the guy from so many different things, but for the first 2, well, I guess he's actually in the third. He's not in the third. He's in the first, second, and fourth, briefly in the fourth.
Yeah. And isn't he in?
He's in Avengers 2.
Yes,
and Avengers 1.
No, Avengers 1. Yeah, he was out there a lot. He's Disney now.
And he was good.
Yeah, he was good, and so that set that up, and then it ended. I think it was the shortest of the 3 because it was like 31 minutes before credits. I timed it because
it felt short.
Yeah, it was really quick.
I think that's a little unfair. I think you know a lot by the end of the 3rd episode.
Yes, they're like, okay, this is how he becomes. Again, if you've never watched Rogue One, this is how, then you just saying he's definitely going to become a major rebel. But if you watch Rogue One, you're like, okay, this is how he gets to this point that we need him in. And I liked episode 3 for that. I thought, okay, great. Finally, something happens, right? Stuff happens in episode 3.
I mean, every single boring ass thing in the first 2 episodes paid off, right?
Yes.
All of the characters they set up did something or had something happen to them in a way that was very satisfying, I think.
Right. Oh, wow. Are you saying Tim's demise was satisfying because you said something satisfying? Maybe, what's funny though?
I can't believe they
really went there with Tim.
They went there with Tim and his girlfriend. They were just like, it was just like, this is fucked up. If this could easily be like TVMA. Like, this is
outside of pepper spray and tasers. You're right. This could be TVMA because
if you just put them in actual cop uniforms, you could not get away with that in TV-14.
No. You could, because it would have to be the other side of cop. It's definitely propaganda. Like, if you put them in actual police uniforms, it'd be propaganda. Like, you can't do that. You can't.
Right,
but this gives them a way to do a cab without but it's still very in your face though. It's still very
in your face. Yeah, she gets stopped because she looks funny.
Right.
He hits the cop hits her, chains her to the wall, shoots her boyfriend who has not even
he's an unarmed citizen.
If he was holding a comm link, that would have been the only more
that would have been perfect.
That would have been
he had a weapon. Oh my god! If they said he had a weapon, I think I would have loved the episode a lot more.
Who knows what they're gonna say? I assume we're gonna get the fallout of that Imperial guy getting creamed for killing 12, getting 12 of his dudes killed.
So now this is what I have to ask you, because you also made the joke in the chat, Simo, they're good guys on both sides. Didn't they kind of show that a little bit? Because some of the people that died, right, didn't. Some of the cops that died just died because it was. Didn't they kind of die? Wasn't it kind of weird?
You don't get there, but every single person who has a line of dialogue that isn't I'm going somewhere sucked.
Okay.
Think about it. The head guy was a piece of shit.
Yes.
There was the Irish stereotype who was a piece of shit.
Yes.
There was the head of the guy, the guy who tied her to the wall sucked.
Right.
Then there was the guy who shot Tim and then ran off and crashed the ship.
Wait, was that okay? No,
that was the same guy, right?
It was the same. Oh,
I think it was because he freaked out when he shot him, which was also
very. Oh my god! Just shot. Oh my god!
It was. Like all the cops with speaking lines in this were terrible.
Pieces of shit. Yes.
They were just pieces of shit. And I guess theoretically, Quiet Joe number 7 could have been like, I just need to get back to my wife. I just need to get back to my wife.
Like that's
but they didn't have any of that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I'm too old.
Like,
it wasn't.
Should we be here? Like, should we be here?
Which they normally would do. You know what I mean? Even a show Bosk is the biggest example of this, right? Where they had a real cop thing. They made it clear that there were bad cops who did the bad thing, but there were also good cops around who were like, wait, should we be doing this? I think they went too far.
Her partner.
Yeah. It's
real quick.
None of that here. None of that.
Right. Can we talk about when he gives the speech on the
That was
show?
great.
He's such a, pardon my French, he's such a nerd, right? But he's like a cop nerd, right? Like, oh my God, I'm about to kill it today as a cop, right? I feel like those super cops are nerdy, not the good kind. But
I think what they were going for here, right, is this guy is a true believer.
Yes.
But he doesn't understand what it means to be a true believer.
Right. He also doesn't get the politics of it, right? Why his boss would say, this isn't something we need to chase, and we need to make our numbers look good. So we need to bring down crime. I'm not gonna lie, I love that speech he gave him. He was like, listen, I know you want to be super cop, and paraphrasing, right? I know you want to be super cop, and I know you think you if you go after this crime, you're gonna, but it's not that deep. These guys were and he made sure he lets him know that these guys were assholes. You don't need and plus I'm going to the summit where we're gonna bring up our crime numbers, and I would like to have peace, because if you make them, because again, now we're gonna get Mon Mothma on the show, right?
One would assume, yeah.
Right. So it's just make my life easy. I'm about ready to retire, pension. That was a very cop thing, though.
It was. I also hope that guy has to testify before, if he has to go and testify before Mon Mothma or something. Yes. It just becomes way, way too real. This is the most real Star Wars has ever been, because it's just amazing.
It is
that they. Well, also the guy was because I think what they were trying to get across, I think, right, is that the boss guy at the beginning knew what the cost of doing this was going to be.
Yes,
and it wasn't worth it, right? These two assholes who basically did this to themselves. We don't need to risk we don't need to put our neck out. And then everyone else down the food chain keeps giving this guy an opportunity to stop.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That one dude is look, it's going to take all night to figure this out.
It's I know somebody else wants to chair.
Yeah, it's wow. And then those three guys are are you sure we want to do this? And he's yeah, we're going to do this. And so every opportunity to get off the train, he does it. And then he gets all of these people killed.
Yes.
For no reason.
Even the guy who crashed the ship, the drop pod, right? It was just good. But I'm thinking, I'm watching it and I'm thinking to myself, you take off and you're getting resistance. Wouldn't it be prudent to land? At this point, is this job that important? I was thinking, I'm yo, is this important? Do you really have to find this dude? It's looking like you're getting overwhelmed. It's looking like you definitely weren't prepared for this. You're losing.
An old man and a scoundrel.
Would anyone really call you a bitch if you just park this pod and just chill till everything is over? I guess not. I guess the job was that important. Catching the criminal is that important. The blue line,
it's literally a blue line in this too.
He crashes his pod, and I kind of laughed when that happened, because I was because you see the Irish guy look up shit. Now, and then I think the best part to me was when Marva goes, okay, so that noise is annoying you, isn't it? You should be careful, because when it stops. And it stopped. And they walked out. And I would tell you, I was scared. I'm yo, he killed Marva. They definitely killed her.
I thought they were going to kill her and the droid. I thought.
Yes. You know what? I'll take that bet.
Yes. That bet. Yeah, I bet he does.
But he does seem like the kind of guy to do because
he's going to clearly be the villain for the rest of this. So
right.
that means he either A, gets demoted and never gives up chasing Andor,
right,
or B, gets promoted and Andor runs into him again.
Yeah. I was so scared. I'm like, yo, they've killed Marva. Like, she's dead.
I thought they killed Marvin the droid. Like when they had the droid, I'm like, wow, they're gonna kill the dog. Like they're just like going like straight up, like all of the horrific shit.
That would have definitely like been like really, like at that point, I'm like, yeah, this is it. Because I've seen it happen before. So at that point, I'm like, yep, this is it. Because he's like, pull his battery pack. Like what? And she's like, he doesn't have the right to. And I'm like,
and he's just like, I don't care. They're like, shut her up. It's like, wow,
what?
It's like it's just so on point. You go into this, you're after this lady's son. You go into this old lady's house, tear it up. Like they're just like ripping this
and then you knock. Did they knock or just bust in the
No, they knocked. They did knock it. I did a joke about a no knock.
No, but you knock, and then you don't even give it a chance to be like, hey, what's going on? It's just boom.
Nope.
As soon as the door cracks open, you're like in there. Listen, shut her up. I'm like, yo, she's gonna die because you're stopping her from like something's gonna happen to her. I'm kind of glad she didn't die because I would like to see more of that, either the backstory or what they're gonna do with her moving forward. But it's gonna look like. Does it? Do you feel like Biggs? Is it Biggs? Bex? What's her name?
I don't think we're. I have a feeling they're gonna come back and be like, look at what you did to him. Like, was it worth
she's gonna be mad at Andor because of Tim?
Yeah, I mean, of course she's gonna be mad at Andor.
Tim snitched. It's not his fault. It's at this point. I honestly believe Tim would still be alive if he just talked to his girlfriend.
Yes, of course he would.
So it's on him that he died. I can't. Well, I know she's. You're right.
If he had told her, like you could see, like the actor was actually pretty good because you could see on his face that he realized that he did the wrong thing as soon as she fucked him. And like that night when she showed up at his house.
Yeah, he couldn't sleep. He was dealing with it, man.
And then like it's so obvious that like she picked you, and if he had just been, I got jealous and I fucked up. We have to tell Andor that I called the cops.
Things would have gone differently.
Things would have gone different. Of course, then there would be no like.
Yeah, there'd be no super action scene, but like it'd be like maybe a super action escape scene.
Yeah. But I mean, I didn't feel bad for Tim when he got shot. I was just in.
He was unarmed. He was.
I was just more like, wow, they did this in front of his girlfriend, who's cuffed. It's just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I thought she was gonna get shot. If we're gonna be entirely
honest. Okay, yes, definitely. I thought they were gonna pack her up. Like pack her out of there, and then Tim and Andor would form this crazy friendship, and that would be like motivation for both of them. Maybe Tim dies at the end of the season because he sacrifices himself so Andor can escape. I don't think the old man makes it out the season.
He doesn't, no, but I think he makes it out of like the short term.
Yeah,
like I think they're gonna save his death for.
He definitely sacrifices himself because isn't he like kind of like a higher up? Isn't he in the?
He's a rebel. He's a rebel.
Oh, he's a rebel. I thought he was.
Yeah, I mean they're all rebel. I mean, let's see. Maybe what's her face is in the poster. I'm trying to look at the poster. Maybe the girl is in later episodes because the poster has
Biggs. Whatever her name
is. It has Mon Mothma, character we haven't met yet, character we haven't met yet, character we haven't met yet. The droid, so the droid comes back, character we haven't met yet. Cop, the guy from Rogue One. So maybe she does come back. So who knows? Maybe she joins the rebellion too.
Right.
But I honestly think anyone who does not appear in Rogue One will likely die in this.
Right.
Mon Mothma should be okay, but
Mon Mothma's gonna be okay. The old guy's gone. He's gonna get packed out. The Biggs is gonna get packed out.
The guy, yeah, but not. What's the actor's name who plays the rebel guy, like who raises Jyn Orso? He's also in Clone Wars. What's his name? What's the actor's name? Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker survives, obviously.
Yes. What's his name? His character is Saul Guerrero.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, no, but okay. So we've kind of covered the show, right? What? Rogue One is a Star Wars movie that
It's
came
like
out
pre-Bush or not pre-Bush, pre-Trump.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely pre-Trump. Yeah, way pre-Trump because even Solo was pre-Trump, right?
I don't. Yeah, it was the year of the Trump.
Yeah. So Rogue One is the movie
2016.
that sets up Episode 4. Right? Rogue One definitely is how they steal the plans to destroy the Death Star.
That is a safe, a spoiler-free summary as you can give.
Yeah, you drunk, you need to definitely go watch Rogue One. Because I mean I'll say this though. Andor's story happens in Rogue One.
I mean, Rogue One came out in 2016. Watching it is not a spoiler.
No, I don't want to tell. I don't want because I'm not trying to spoil it for him. So because I don't want to.
I mean, if you haven't, you should definitely watch Rogue One if you haven't seen it. I think it's probably the best modern
Star Wars. Yeah.
Modern post prequels Star Wars.
Movie. Yeah, it's the best post prequel Star Wars movie. 100%.
And
so
it has its
I will say watching the show made me feel like Alden Erickson got done dirty. I feel like Solo should have been a 6-part series.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just do a Solo series.
Like, you mean start from where the movie ends?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah,
start where the movie ends.
Yeah, but those guys are movie actors, right? Because you have Donald Glover.
Well, Donald Glover, I don't think you get Donald Glover back. Donald Glover
and
busy
what's her name?
Because and making a like Emmy award-winning TV shows. Like you're not getting, but like just get.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
No, it's not the Han Solo.
It's different. Because and then what about Daenerys? Like she's in Rogue One.
Well, I mean, she's clearly willing to do Disney TV shows because she's in Secret Invasion. So
okay, there you go. So you have her, and then I think the guy who plays Darth Maul is pretty cheap, right? He's
Ray Park. Also, I think Dany has proven that she is not a box office draw. I think she's going to end up being a television actress. Like, I don't mean that as like in this like bad. Like, she's gonna be like David Tennant. I think.
Yeah. Has David Tennant done anything box office, or he's just really been TV?
He does like a lot of really well received television shows.
Yeah. But yeah, so watch I want to watch Rogue One, but honestly, not Rogue One. Alden Erickson needs a second shot for Star Wars. The other thing was I wanted to talk about was there's a lot of because it was gorgeous.
It was very pretty, yes. It was the best looking Star Wars show since the first season of Mandalorian.
Wait, you don't think Obi-Wan looked good?
Obi-Wan had a few moments that looked good. Overall, the show looked like they filmed it in an empty warehouse because they literally did and projected.
It was COVID times, man.
I'm just being honest. Like we talked about this when we were reviewing it. Right? The technology that they have that basically means you can do anything.
Right.
Means it's a really small room. So like if you're like, this is a huge hangar, but everything takes place in this narrow little area.
Right.
Like it looks really bad. But the fact that they filmed this like on actual sets really gives it real beauty, I think.
Oh man, we are on it, man. I appreciate it. We really are.
We are just not. We don't stop. Like Mo and I are like literally not stopping until
it's over.
Until it's over, and like we're gonna go until what? I guess we get a 1-day break on Saturday.
Right, and then we're back on Sunday. No, and Sunday we get Saturday and Sunday off, and then we're back on Tuesday, Wednesday,
Monday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, Monday. Oh well, me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's right. You do the sports show.
Right. The other thing was the camera work on the show was also excellent.
Yeah, the directing in general was fantastic. Yes, like
directing,
technically. I mean, so you did the same thing. Like I think Mo and I both got off work.
We just finished. And But no, the direction on this show is A1. I will go as far as saying this is the best looking Disney Plus Star Wars show. It's the best looking and it's the best so far. The episodes in, I think Mandalorian has to come back and regain its spot. For now, I think this has taken that, and this is it's okay. This is the last joke I'm gonna make about this, but honestly, a lot of the show is dark, and I was sitting there thinking to myself like, wow, Zach.
It looks just like Rogue One. Like that's
I know it does, but he could have done this. I mean, because he wants to do Star Wars, right?
Well, I mean, Andor shooting somebody in the face, that I get, but he wouldn't have spared that guy.
The
Zack Snyder did. The bad
guy. You mean the cop? You would have spared him? Yeah. I mean, if the script called for it, I think he would have found it interesting. He would have shot him in his spine. So
of course. Then he's or shave his head.
He'd do something or tag him with that with that brand or something.
Oh my god! Why are you giving me these horrific?
I'm sorry, no, but this is a dark series.
It is,
and they're going.
Thematically, it fits Rogue One, which is also a very dark Star Wars movie until kind of the end, but the end is very bittersweet.
Yeah,
I don't want to get Drunk hasn't seen it, so I don't want to.
Yeah, because we fall in love with these characters and things happen. But yeah, Saul Guerrero is going to be in this, and a lot of other interesting characters. I like Mon Mothma, so I want to see what they do with her in the show.
Yeah, I'm excited. She deserves.
Right.
I was expecting some of her in these episodes, but
no, I think it's best that they save her. So how many more episodes is this going to be 6?
I think it's 9.
Oh, that's why we get 3. So
I think it's going to be 3 arcs. It's going to basically be 3 movies. They're going to cheat like they kind of been doing.
So they're going to give us 3 episodes in 2 weeks, or is it going to be like an episode a week?
12 episodes.
Oh no! Please make it 3 or something. Like I don't have the.
And then there's a second season coming.
I don't think I have the brain capacity to do this for 12 weeks. Not 12 weeks. Nah, how many more weeks now? Because it's gonna be.
All right, it goes until November 23rd, so it goes until Thanksgiving week.
Jesus. So does that sound like one? Yeah, it is one a week.
It is one a week going forward now. Yeah, October 5th, October 12th, October 19th.
That's a lot of episodes. But look, we get something to do every week until Black Panther.
It's drying. Yeah, it's drying out. I mean, Disney. I mean, Rings of Power and House of Dragon have 4 weeks.
Yes,
left. I think.
No, House of Dragon has 5 because Sunday starts. I count Sunday as a new week, so starting from Sunday.
They just did episode 5, so there's 5 more.
It's 5 more, yeah. Rings of Power has 4 more. I think it's 8 episodes.
I think it's 8, yeah. And then She-Hulk has 3 more.
Yeah, right? We've done 5 She-Hulk episodes, so 4 more.
And there's 8 total. I think.
I thought it was
10. Okay, hold on.
Oh man, we got a lot. We do have a lot of TV left, so we're gonna be here.
Episode.
This was funny.
9. The last episode airs October 13th.
Wow, we got work. This was funny. For a dark series, it did have his comedy, and then the way he just slithered out of paying him, right? He's like,
yeah,
you're working for him, and then calls him out, and it's like, oh wait, never mind, and he just lets him go. I'm like, what? Slick talker. So, question for you: does this planet suffer repercussions, or are we done with this planet and it's just going to be a space chase thing until it's over?
I don't know. I think we will go back to this planet. I don't know. I really have no idea what is going to happen in this show.
Is that a good thing?
I think it's a good thing. I mean, I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could dig out Andor spoilers. I just haven't been
You haven't been as on it.
Like I don't do Star Wars spoilers anymore.
This is not the one, right? You'd
It's not
rather
the one. Like I'm not like eager.
You'd rather spoil Black Panther.
Oh yeah, I'll spoil the hell out of Black Panther because I'm excited for Black Panther. That's underselling. I actually was very excited for Andor, and I was a little afraid about halfway through this that it wasn't
like,
going to
oh
live
my
up to
god, this is
expectations.
These 2 episodes are not it.
And like, well, but the cop stuff kept me watching because I was like, are they really going there? Like, is
That's
that really
but honestly, that is what. And you know what? I would watch 9 episodes of bad cop drama.
Like the Empire, like is like we finally figured out how to like fight propaganda. Just make them the Empire from Star Wars.
But okay, so I'll ask you though, right?
So there's some interesting stuff about this, by the way, because Andor had a pre-established backstory from Rogue One.
Yes,
that this show contradicts. Well, sort of.
Yes. What kind of? Not really.
Well, it does right now. It does, right? Because his dad was supposed to have been killed by the Republic during the Clone Wars. So I assume his dad is the other dude who's with her. Right, because 2 people kidnap him.
Oh, the black guy, yes.
The black guy and Marva. So I assume the black guy gets killed by the Republic during the Clone Wars.
Correct.
And then Andor is a child soldier for the Separatists.
That's what it is,
a whole
right?
Other thing.
So
a whole other thing.
Where are we gonna get that?
I imagine. Like I assume the flashbacks are not going away.
No, it's like Arrow season 1. We're gonna watch what's gonna happen. I'm sorry, we're gonna watch what happened to when Leanne Yu.
Like, if there's truly nothing that overstayed its welcome, it was flashbacks in Arrow. Oh my god. It's like I get it. You all watched Lost when it came out.
If you watched to the end of the show's run, they did flash forwards.
I know. I remember. I remember.
Oh, did you finish Arrow?
I watched it on and off. I never watched like.
Oh, because they hit us. They were like, okay, we're done with the flashbacks because we caught up in time. Now we're gonna take you to the future.
Oh my god!
That I think is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible.
I mean, at least it wasn't the flash sideways of the last season of Lost. Like,
you know what? Sorry. Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just go on. I hate
that one hurt my feelings. Actually, that hurt my feelings.
Right, but I don't think that's going away because there's a lot they have to explain, right? Like,
yeah, because Marva Briggs. But the reason I ask is because when the guy comes and picks Marva Briggs up, he goes, "Let's get out of here." I was assuming that they're leaving. He's like, "Let's get out of planet. Let's get off." But Marva is still on there. B's still on there. So I'm assuming that we have to come back. He has to ask B. I think Marva has something that she hasn't. There's a secret, right? I'm pretty sure there's a secret she hasn't told him, and he's gonna come back and try to find it out because he's gonna learn.
Like what
something.
happened to his sister or whatever.
Yeah, he's gonna learn something, and then come back to be mad. Like how like on these shows everyone is always mad at the moms. Like it's like you took something from me, and then he's gonna learn something, and then he's gonna come back.
It's not daddy issues; it's mommy issues.
Right.
So
there's definitely mommy issues on this.
I mean, there's nothing.
I feel
parental issues are Star Wars. Like literally,
yes.
Every single Star Wars movie revolves around daddy issues, including Rogue One. So,
no, I hope not.
No, what I actually thought might have been his sister.
Go ahead.
Like I thought that the prostitute at the beginning might have been his sister.
I thought so too, and she was trying to keep her. When she heard the planet, she was like, "Yeah, no one." No, it's kind of seemed very like, And
the actress seemed like pretty good
because you see her again.
Yes, like there's a part of me that thinks that she's the sister. But I have no idea.
That's definitely a possibility. But no,
I think this show is going to end on this show's going to end on like kind of the opposite. Like it's going to end on a sour note. So I think that
it starts off good and it tails off.
No, not quality. I mean like
okay.
Like because if Rogue One ends on a bittersweet note, right, where the characters like learn and grow and embrace hope and all that stuff, Andor has to be like all that's left to me is the mission, because that's what he says literally at the beginning of Rogue One. So,
yes,
yeah. So stuff has to happen for him to get to that point, right?
Yes, correct.
So I'm interested to see. Like that's dark. Like
Yeah, I think Andor stays all the way dark. There's no because most Star Wars shows have ended. Season one of Mando ended. Hopefully, um, Boba Fett ended with them kind of
whatever.
winning. I saw the last two episodes. I told you I was
Oh,
going to
you
see.
did.
I did. So
You
I saw
did.
that. It ended with them kind of winning. On a good note.
It's true.
Obi-Wan ends on a super good note. Like Reva is out there, not
not evil. Or
not
whatever.
evil anymore, not ACAB anymore, but
She's not whatever. I don't know.
yeah,
It is a prequel to Rogue One. It is
100%.
only for because I guess we get Jin's origin is in Rogue One.
So, yeah, Jin is in Rogue One, and he stays in Rogue One for pretty much all.
So, yeah, no, this is definitely a prequel to Rogue One. So it's going to tell you like sort of what brings Andor to like the very controversial first scene in the movie.
Yes. So, but I will say this: ultimately, I'm happy about the episodes we got. That package.
Yes. As a package, I think this was like B+.
Yes, it definitely B territory. Yes.
I would say like the first episode was like C-, and that's me being generous because I like the beginning like a lot.
Yeah, and then it just never hit that high. It never got back to that beginning piece of it. And then episode 2 just didn't even have anything. Right? It just something happened.
Episode 2 really did feel like a Netflix show, like where just like
filler
stuff happened.
Yeah, the filler episode, right?
The pieces around the board to set up the big. It felt like one of those like episode 3 of Stranger Things, which is always like you just move people around the board, some people talk to each other, and then the episode just kind of ends, and then there's some big thing in episode 4, right? But this show also didn't even do the thing that Netflix shows learned to do, which is you do something really exciting at the beginning and really exciting at the end. And
yes.
Everything else is just whatever you want it to be. But that you need something that like, because they want you to watch, because it's the algorithm. That's how Netflix figured it out, is their algorithm. If you watch it for the first 5 minutes, it's considered watched.
Yes.
And so you have the most exciting thing happen in the first 5 minutes. And then you want something to get the person to watch the next episode.
Watch the next episode. So the end has to be powerful enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Which Disney does not do here.
Yeah, no. But episode 3 saved them.
It did, because it just paid everything off. Like even the subtle thing of his friend is the one who attached the junk to the
and somehow the entire planet, like, because they kind of made note to that, and then it's like, oh yeah, this planet has people that don't necessarily like the Imperials, but like you have to remind them there's a there's a town hall. Oh my god, there's a town hall.
That was also good. It's like once a month there's a town hall that you can
go complain.
It's just like, wow, that's like
no, that was that. I and then it paid off, because then you see that, oh yeah, we've gone to so many town halls and nothing has happened. So now this is how we back, and it's a coordinated attack, and we're just gonna discombobulate everybody. But no, I enjoyed it, and I am excited to see what the season has to offer. So, Roy, I guess I'll be seeing you next week for episode 4.
Oh yeah, tomorrow and the day after and the day after.
Yeah, it's true, because I feel like I just saw you, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was yesterday, but I went to bed like that yesterday. So
right. So thank you for making the time. Thank you for watching.
Always.
Those of you that are going to be listening, thank you for listening, and we will catch you next week for episode 4 of Disney Plus's new Star Wars show, Andor. Peace. Wait. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and share with your friends. Thank you very much.
There's nothing more rebellious. Join the revolution of Earth2CC by clicking that like and subscribe button.
I appreciate that one. That's a good one.